Okay. See if we can adjust this. No, that would make it worse. There we go. All right, folks, good morning. So yesterday we finished black lining this Panzer III. And I just noticed something that was supposed to be done and isn't. So I'm going to come back and touch that up. Tiny little bit of dry brushing there on the tracks. And then we'll move to the same stage on the next vehicle. Okay, that was it. Short little distraction. All right. There's a brush we're using for that. And let's get this known oil going on. All right, this is also a G, Panzer G. It's the concert of my stomach. Sometimes it just doesn't enjoy the black coffee in the morning. There's a, what's this? Oh, we had kind of an epic paint session yesterday. Is that a tank? Yes, it is. And here it is again. I go live vertical, and people that have never seen my channel come by. Good morning. It is a Panzer III. It is a 3D printed model by Iron Horse Collectibles here in the States. And the designer of this particular tank is Coulon Models. Yeah, they're 3D printed. They're originally like all gray. And this is an easy process, but it does take a while. And we're getting, every time we add one more thing to it, we're getting towards the goal of getting this finished. So after we're done with There's only a couple more stages after this. And just like every 3D print, there's always some areas that are going to have little lines on them. Even though these are rarely the case, there's still always somewhere where there is, and I've just kind of learned to just like kind of ignore it. It's going to happen everywhere. I don't 3D print them myself. That's a hobby within the hobby. If I did that, then, well, first of all, I'd start off being not very good at it. And second of all, it would cut into all my free time that I would use to paint this stuff. So yeah, I could 3D print things eventually and maybe be good at it, but then I wouldn't paint any of my stuff. So that's not really the objective here. Yeah, it comes in a couple different sections. The tracks are all one piece. You can see here, look, it's all connected. Oh, whoa. This is all one piece, and it's kind of flexible. There's some rubberized properties to it. And it's supposed to be super glued, but you know, sometimes super glue doesn't do like it's supposed to. And this particular 3D printer uses a resin that is has a slight bit of rubbery consistency to it, which is nice because it has some give. It doesn't, it like flexes. But yeah, I've been really happy with them. And you can buy a model kit of this and it would cost 3 times as much, and you have to build the model. I don't mind building models, but I don't want to like build a model and it costs 3 times as much. Like, you know, that's not cool. How long have I painted? I've been painting since 1985, but worth a damn probably since 95. The stuff between 85 and 95, if I had any of it, I'd be like, I should have kept something, like, you know, this is the crap I used to do. But the internet made me improve a lot. I see like real wizards out there doing stuff. I'm like, man, I gotta get better. I like your stuff better than mine. I gotta figure out how you do it. And a lot of people are willing to tell you what they do. You know, just like I am. I don't want to hide anything from anybody. I've I've benefited from getting ideas and things off the internet. And by the way, this is what we end up looking like. I don't know if the lights in here worth a damn, but this is what it ends up looking like. It's all hand painted decals, hand painted numbers. You know, we use it for wargaming. So in yesterday's video, I inadvertently did kind of a quick tour of everything I've painted in the last couple of years. I was doing the tanks and stuff, World War II stuff, about 20 years ago, and I just got back into it. I was doing things that, well, I was painting during those 20 years. I was just doing ancients and medieval stuff. So I hadn't done World War II since probably about 2002, 2003, something like that. And I just got back into it a couple years ago. And during that time, I think I painted like one tank way back when. And it wasn't very good. So when I got back into it, I'm like, okay, I got to see what people are doing, what steps people are taking. Professional at this point. Good morning, everyone from Northern Michigan. Okay, you going to go to work today, Justin, or you still, I was going to say rained out. Well, professional, yeah, I don't sell to other people. Is that what makes you a professional? You do it for a living, do it for a profession. I'll never be a professional if that's the case, but trying to get better every time I do something. So, and this is my therapy. This keeps me from being, on the news, being stressed out. Good morning, man. No work. It's -2 degrees. You snowed in by yourself, or is your girl with you, or I can't remember if your girlfriend lives with you. I want to say she does. Yeah, that'd be a problem if you're like, well, I'm snowed in. Oh shit, I don't have any groceries. You got a problem. I mean, I'm sure you don't. I'm sure you planned appropriately. You've got two refrigerators and a deep freeze. Your girlfriend's with you. Well, send her over to Marcus's place so Marcus doesn't have to play chef this morning. My family would starve if I had to cook for them. That's one of those things that, oh man, I couldn't paint. I couldn't paint my own stuff. It'd take too long. Like, I can't cook, man. It would just take too long. It's the same thing. I don't have the energy to do both things. And I don't have to do the dishes with this. Like, we just leave the dishes. Here's me doing the dishes. Washing a brush, done. And people said, oh, that's because you never lived alone. Bullshit. I lived alone 11 years and never cooked. I assembled the hell out of things. So we're eating like I'm eating like salads or, sandwiches or stuff like that. Not like, complex shit. Just never cared to get into it. It's kind of like the same thing. I wouldn't know where to start. Like, man, I don't have a skillet. I don't have this. I don't have the other thing. I don't. We'll paint for food. Sounds like Marcus needs a woman. Love cooking and gardening. Man, my wife is an awesome cook, especially if she like invents something. Like follows a recipe, it could be trash, and it's not her fault. It's the person who made the recipe. And but gardening, everybody in this family kills everything. You can't even like put a plant up and it like dies. You cook with a cast iron skillet. Man, that cast iron skillet is really weird in that you got to like treat it, right? And you got to put oil in it. It's just, I don't know. We got a grill recently. I got to learn how to do that. I guess with beer, all things are possible. But honestly, we've been traveling ever since we got it. So we haven't really got an opportunity to mess with it. But I made it a point. I said, if we're going to be out there, I'll go out there with you and I'll figure shit out. I've just never really done it before. But I'm not going to be out on the grill and not have an adult beverage, not sip on an adult beverage, and not get lit, but not sit on a not sip on a adult beverage. It's part of the experience. That's like fishing without having a beer. Like, who the hell wants to do that? You're married for 24 years. Your wife has been away on work for a while. She's an awesome cook. Taught me a few things. Season the cast iron. Yeah, we've got one of those. What is it that it's called? We didn't get a grill. We got one of those big griddles. You know what it's called? I can't think of what it's called. And because my wife is going to be the one that is going to use it more than I am, or if I'm going to use it, I got to fucking learn from her, or we got to watch videos or shit. But that's something she can use. She can grill. She can saute a bunch of chicken out there and not stink up the whole house with fumes and things. Not fumes, but smoke the whole house. So we've used it a couple times, and then we went on the vacation of unusual size. So just trying to get back into the normalcy of things. What's that thing called? And yeah, we had to season it. Made steak last night. Steak and onions. She got a bunch of chicken breast out there and grilled onions are incredible. We got like freaking 4 onions and man, sauteed onions are freaking incredible. I can't think what the hell that thing's called. You know what it is. It's that big skillet thing that everybody knows the name of. I just can't think of it. I used all my memory for Panzer III variants. Mushrooms. I shouldn't say I won't eat. I don't care to eat raw mushrooms anymore. You're missing out on a lot of how good they could be. I feel the same way about, shrimp. Shrimp cocktail. I love shrimp. I love shrimp more than anybody. But shrimp cocktail isn't worth having. It just doesn't taste like anything. That's gonna bug the hell out of me. What's that skillet thing called? That's like the big flat. That's like the size. It's about the size of this table. Anyways, it works really well. But steak is so damn expensive. Meat is so much cheaper in Europe. You think it'd be, well, at least where I went in Europe, it's a lot cheaper in Spain. The griddle skillet. Yeah, what's the name of it? It's a brand, you know what it is as soon as I say what it is. Anyways, it works really well, but it took a while to season it. You mix your mom's herb garden. You mix your mom's herb garden. She sent me some rosemary for Christmas, rosemary and potatoes. Oh, I like rosemary. I don't know if there's an herb I don't like. There's spices I don't like, especially if they're in quantities that are too large. Like allspice. I don't like allspice. I don't like too much cinnamon. Cinnamon's weird Like, I don't dislike cinnamon things, but sometimes things that are like, they have, if you go to one of those places that has Christmas stuff and they got like those Christmas stalks, not those Christmas stalks, cinnamon stalks, you know what I'm talking about. And they give off that smell. I can't stand that smell. Um, but I like cinnamon toast crunch, apple jacks, that kind of fake cinnamon, I guess I'm okay with. Um, Let me turn this off for a second. I gotta get my soul back. I gotta find out what this is called. This is eating me alive. Let's see. Close this. Blackstone. A Blackstone. That's what. Whew. Oh my god, it was driving me crazy. Yeah, it works really well. And I'm pretty leery of messing with things that are propane. I don't know. There's just some things. It's okay to be scared of some shit, or tread carefully. Right? Every time we fire up anything that's propane, it's like, man, I wish it was a firearm. It's lot less I'm a lot less scared with firearms. That was quite a nice stroll. It was kind of unexpected. That was up until like 10:30. I was painting until 10:30, so it worked. My wife didn't get in until after midnight and I was awake, so I didn't get a whole lot of sleep last night. And then I had that one cup of coffee that kind of kept me awake. But really, it's the interaction with everybody last night that really made the difference. I'll have to do that again in a little bit more thorough method. And that's not even my 15 millimeter figures. That would take a while. And they're all the way up there they're in boxes and they're covered from the dust and shit like that. They're up on top of the closet. The closet over there is kind of it's not built into the wall. It's kind of freestanding, so it does have a top to it. So it allows me to stack that stuff out up there out of the way. Yeah, but that was unintentional. You just never know where you're going to go. Don't like propane cooking. I either put my meat in a drum smoker or do wood grilling. They had this one grill that the guy at the store was trying to talk us into getting one. And it used like pellets and stuff like that. And like he said, yeah, you can get all kinds of pellets and you can get hickory and mesquite. And as soon as he said the M word, I'm like, oh, mesquite. Oh, because I like anything mesquite. Mesquite is like freaking, except Bucky's. Bucky's, Bucky's, the gas station, right? They make their own stuff. Their mesquite chips suck. I don't know what it is about it. Okay. But everything else, mesquite, is amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I don't know what the hell is in mesquite, but freaking amazing, except those chips. Screw you, Bucky's, you messed up mesquite. Oh man, I love mesquite stuff. It's probably not good on ice cream either, but crazy glue. Well, that's how it's got its name, crazy glue. Which one are you using? I don't like super glue, man. It does weird stuff. It glues too quick. It doesn't glue quick enough sometimes. I much prefer, man, if you could have epoxy that just came pre-mixed in a little container like that, it'd be great. This green one doesn't seem to grip real well. I don't know. I mean, I'm not worried about this thing falling apart. I know some people probably still buy that really cheap one. You know, the one that's like, oh man, I'm buying this one. Why? Because there's 12 of them in there. Like they don't hold anything. You got to punch the end of it with this, like an old style toothpaste thing. It's got that metal cover on the end. From Hobby Lobby called Extreme Power. How the heck do you get to a Hobby Lobby in New York? Are there Hobby Lobbies in New York City? Yeah, maybe there are. And Hobby Lobby used to be better. Then they just started discontinuing a lot of their stuff. Gorilla Glue. I've always found the Gorilla Glue. Well, I haven't used any of the precise Gorilla Glue products, but I remember when Gorilla Glue first came out. My dad is. We've got these. We've got these chairs. We've got these chairs. Let me take care of this before it's too late. We got these chairs that we've had a long time in my parents' house from like the late 60s. And they're made out of real wood, colonial style chairs. They'd probably look good in your house in Virginia, Marcus, or your parents' house in Virginia. But anyways, you know, back when they made furniture, yeah, you know, to last forever. But they always they always fall apart. So my dad's like, we're gonna Gorilla Glue this, and he made a big, not a big mess, but it was messy, or at least the Gorilla Glue he used was messy. You buy it in Virginia. How often do you go to Virginia? How often do you go to real America? You know where Justin lives is real America, not New York. Because I could live in bumfuck Michigan. I couldn't live in New York City. There's no privacy. And it's not that, you know, I need to do things that require privacy, but it's like, man, I don't need to have these rude people up my ass all the time, you know? What are you doing here? I'm just trying to wipe. 2 times a year. Man, you got to make your list and not forget, shit, I forgot to buy such and such. Crap. Well, we'll see you the next 2 seasons. I know, you could just mail order it if you needed that badly. So your girlfriend's stuck in the house too with you, Justin. So how's that? How's that working out for you? Be stuck with somebody in a house. Hopefully, got a big house for like 4 days straight. Because I could be here lots of days, but I want to be doing this. You get all your honeydew list done. She'd be there like reminding you every 15 minutes. Actually, if it's your house, you could kick her out, right? And this would be the time of day where she needs to, this is the time of year where she needs to behave or she's going to be a bit cold. It's -2 degrees, babe. It's not time to get uppity. Is that a purposeful line? I think so. House is 2,900 square feet. That's a big house, my friend. I think we're good with the hull. Yeah, I think we're good with the hull, not for the turret. She loves the cold too. Well, that's super important. I don't know. I don't know if I could live with somebody who like wanted to run the. I know I couldn't live with somebody who wanted to like run the heater. Forget the cost. Say it's free, right? Say your energy costs are free. I don't want to live like, what is it in the house this morning? 64 or something like that. AC is off. 64. I think it dipped into the 40s or something like that. 64 degrees. There's nothing running. It's free. But I guarantee at work they're going to have the heater running. I couldn't live with somebody who was like that. Who was like polar opposite. Because she'll even say, man, I could wear more clothes. I'd wear more clothes too, but this is what I'm sleeping in, I had shorts and a t-shirt. This is what I sleep in no matter what the temperature is. But somebody who'd want to run the heater all the time. Somebody been screwing with the thermostat. I don't ever mess with the thermostat. It is what it is. I think we got it set to the heat turning on if it's 59 or something like that. Land is cheap in Michigan. She's an outdoors person like me. Yeah, I definitely don't consider myself an outdoors person. So, Marcus, you're here. I have some interesting things to show you, and I can't take a picture of them and show them to you. And this came up last night while after you were gone. So let me see. Let me try to do my best here. And this has to do with 3D printing, the 3D printing stuff here. And you may have some of this stuff. Let's see. Let's see if we can do. Is it one more zoom in? There we go. Okay, one more zoom in. All right, let's take a look at. Both of these are the same tank. Yeah, both of these are Gs. Okay, let's take a look at these two Gs. 65 in the house. Hey, it's colder here. Specifically, we're going to look at the back of the turret. Look at the back of the turret box. So you got those two latches, and you've got this small row of rivets that's running just below the lid of the hatch in the back. You following me? Okay. Now let's look at this print. Same turret. You can tell it's the same turret because it's got the same pattern. Okay? Now look at the back of this one. They're like way oversized. And almost like crude. And I just assumed that's how they were. That's how the print was until I got a second one, and it's not the same. So in the end, it doesn't bother me that much, but it's curious that that happened. And the other one that I have painted also has the big crude one. Interesting. The other thing I encountered, this isn't a complaint, this is an observation. I have this line, you may have seen me working on it, where sometimes when you dry brush, a bristle will get stuck to the paint. You're like, damn it. So I was trying to get the bristle out because there was a bristle mark like right here. Come to find out, that's actually not a bristle mark. It's a crack. Now, it doesn't bother me. And what really became obvious is I'm like, damn it, there's another bristle mark that's black. And I'm like, but I don't have, my brushes don't have black, what do you call them? Brush material. Can't pick this morning. Haven't had enough coffee. But look over here by just where the box attaches. See if I can get that in the right area. See, it's got like a little line right there. I'm like, damn it, that's a damn brush bristle. No, it's not. It's a crack. Got one here too. No, it's just an etch. This one's not in. This is actually kind of deep, and it goes up to the side of the turret, the top of the turret there. A little bit. Anyways, it's not that noticeable a thing. I just like, let me make sure those don't get bigger, because I have heard that Plastic Soldier Company, for instance, they've started doing their own 3D printing, and I've heard horror stories about their stuff like literally falling apart because they didn't have enough. I don't know enough about 3D printing, but apparently you need to leave some hollowness so that it cures and it's got somewhere to go. See it? There's a similar small line on your Firefly turret. It's not a big deal. It's not enough worth filling. I just thought it was kind of interesting. Like I probably, had I done this before, I'm like, okay, well, let me file some of that off. But, it is what it is. Hey, it may have imperfections. It's 10 times better looking than any other model of the Panzer III by anybody else. So, but I figured I was going to show that to you because I know you have some of these. So, the only one of these I don't have is the F. I didn't get an F because I'm doing November 1941, and the Fs are kind of, well, they've already burned out. But if I was doing like, 5th Light Division, if I was doing Barbarossa stuff, that's probably where I'll get my F. It's just, same tank, but, a little bit less armor in a few places. Small variations. But that's the thing about painting without my glasses on. All this stuff I'm doing is magnified 6-fold, literally. So it's hard to pull a fast one on me because I can freaking see it. Not that anybody pulled a fast one, but it was just interesting to note that. So next time Chad comes on here, I'll bring it up to him, just to be aware of him. He'd probably say, "You want me to replace it?" No, I don't want you to replace anything. I'm just, just letting you know. He sent me a ton of freaking headlights. Like this one's missing a headlamp. I got like a whole host of headlamps. The problem is that they're cast in with this thing, and I'm not going to take the thing off. So I may chop one of the headlamps and try to put it on here. No, it's not a big deal. Keeps them all from looking the same anyways. Ever dry brush a model and then hit it with a wash? Yes. These are dry brushed and hit with a wash. Because these are Panzer Gray. And then I put that green ochre and then I hit it with a wash to dull that wash down. But that's the only one I've done that way. And it definitely dulls it. For 20 years, I didn't use any washes. I don't use washes on my figures. And that's all I did for 20 years, paint figures. horses and things like that. It's funny. When I started doing the ancients and medievals, I'd never painted a horse before. And the first horse I painted turned out amazing. Actually, I like all my horses. I hit it in no time how I like doing horses. And the weirdest thing about horses is it looks really weird to my eye to have a horse that the color of its coat and the color of its mane are almost the same color. And in real life, it happens all the time. You have like a chestnut horse with chestnut hair, and you'll see people paint the horse, and it's just like, oh, you were just lazy. Like you just painted the horse all in one color and just gave it a wash or whatever, and it all looks the same thing. But that's what horses look like. But it's difficult doing that. Um, yeah, I did that on the desert because I may try that on something else and just see what kind of effect it does. I feel like that gives it the faded paint look. But I figured out how to do that on these on a whim doing the German half track. I was doing that German half track. I'm like, this isn't looking like I want it to. Let's try this. And I'm like, oh, that looks terrible with the dry brush green ochre. Let's give it a wash. I'm like, oh, there we go. So when you've been painting for a while, the first thing I've noticed is I've tried to pull things out of my ass, and it doesn't take too many tries to get it right. Just because, I mean, I've done enough wrong things, and I'm like, okay, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do that, we're not going to do that. So what does that leave us with option wise? Okay, two done. Where are we at? Let's start on the next one. This is the G. And I use very little paint on top of the brush when I dry brush, which means I'm wasting a lot of paint. The less paint you actually use coming out of the dry brush, that means the more of it gets left on the palette or wherever. So yeah, it's very wasteful, but what are you gonna do? I I still it takes a long time for me to refill a paint bottle. The only paint that I'm going through quick with is the strong tone. Quicker. That's why I bought four of them when I got them. So yeah, I used to make my own washes when I was doing the 12400 scale ships, and it looked great when you applied it. And then after a while, it dried, and I wouldn't like how it looked. Well, that was before the internet, so people, oh, you got to put a little bit of dish soap in it, or whatever reasons they gave you. But I think you need to dry brush over the wash to. Like you asked me, did I dry brush a model and hit it with a wash? Yeah, I guess I do that every time. It was just I in the Africa Core ones, I actually dry brush what I would call a base color. Yeah, but my Panzer gray ones, the first ones I did before I had an airbrush, I just I just primed the whole thing black and just dry brushed the gray, and then dry brushed a little bit of the a blue tint and blued it up a little bit, and then hit it with a brown wash. Then came back with that dry brush of that same color and goes, yes, I guess I do that on everything. The stuff I don't do anymore is like, oh, well, just paint it and then wash it and you're done. Like, no, that's not enough. We need more layers than that. I try to dry brush mostly with craft paint for that reason. Well, craft paint, some of it behaves better than others. I find that the folk art is the best one. It's also the most expensive. It's like I looked at it at the store the other day. It was $1.59, which is a steal. But some colors are just better than others. Like the folk art black and white are superb. They're superb. I don't even touch the Viejo black and white anymore. Now, there's no paint tonight. I got to hang out with a bunch of old people today. Middle-aged. I'm almost ready to have my senior discount. That's fucked up. I never feel old. I still feel like I'm 30. I still think like I'm 30. That's because I'm still doing the shit that I did when I was 30 and 25. Maybe that's why. Maybe if I'm like, I don't do that stuff anymore. I don't play video games anymore. I'm a middle-aged man. No, I'm still a kid. You need the armor colors. Oh, you mean other than the craft paint? Yeah. I mean, you could mix it, but get close. Get you in the right ballpark quickly. That's why I have so many colors. Not because, it's not like, okay, well, here's a tub of red, yellow, and blue. Make your own damn colors. Like, yeah, we're not doing that. That's a lot of time wasted. So that French village you sent me pictures of, there's different versions of it. I thought there was only one. Because I've seen one that had like cars, like maybe some wrecks of some cars. Maybe that's the super deluxe one. I guess maybe they do things like that. Because that Italian village that I always salivate over, there's multiple versions of it. There's one that's like it comes with the base, like because it's kind of like on a hill, and it comes with like the hill base too. You're 46, still doing my nerd stuff. No, that's what keeps you. That's what keeps you alive. Everybody does nerd stuff. It's just different nerd stuff. Keeps your brain thinking. I think one of the worst things you could do is just sit around and just watch television. You just, you're just sitting there. You're not thinking. You're just, And I know people that are freaking addicts to it. I don't live with them, but there's nothing on TV worth watching. Marcus, you're not missing anything. Looking at the site, the houses look the same, but some pictures have different rubble. They pull what's the name of that place that I got the playmat from? That guy ended up, I heard somebody was telling me that guy screwed a lot of people. Tiny War Games UK. He like sold his company to somebody else that took over, and there was all this outstanding shit that he had been doing wrong. I'm just glad I actually finally got him to freaking send me the. Well, he still didn't send me the mats, but it was enough that we'll get on. You know, he sent me an. I just wanted him to replace the 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 temperate colored mat. But I've used it. You know, it's all right. It's just annoying that it was a damaged product that apparently he discontinued, which is probably why he couldn't send me the other one. But he sent me an extra desert one. There was nothing wrong with the desert one. So I got 2 desert mats. So that was the other reason to do desert. I've got 2 4x6s. So what's that? That's an 8. That's a 4x12 or an 8x6. So we should be in good. Do a channel, Marcus. TV sucks. It is. It's all the same shit. It is. And a lot of it is pretends to be reality when it isn't. It's all staged. It's like wrestling. You know, reality TV, Survivor should be like hidden camera. There's 12 people on this island. We'll see you back in 3 months. There better be only one of you alive, or we're going to do a random draw and kill the other 2. That's what it should be. Survivor is one guy survive. You know, you make sticks out of bamboo, and it's all a hidden camera. Like, I'd watch that. You know, not like, oh, we're gonna have this. Oh, we're gonna have these activities where we get to, you know, people get, you know, don't pass these things, and then we'll have a vote. I'm like, wait a second. There's no voting in surviving. All freaking staged, pre-planned. Nope. So I got war paint brush on primer to experiment. War paint brush on primer. Okay. Who makes that? Um, is it Army Painter? Yeah, I guess they're war paints. I don't realize that. Army Painter war paints. These guys are promoting violence, calling it war paint. Well, I'm not painting figures to sit around some cafe and drink tea. They're going to go out and roll dice and do bad things to each other and not ask permission first. Will they deliver stuff to you if you're snowed in, or you got to wait until the fall? So, hey, so no problem. I'll just sit at home and order stuff, and I'll come. Oh no, no, nothing can come in. Damn it! I'm actually leaving the lid off of it a little bit. If some of it evaporated, it wouldn't hurt my feelings any. It darkened it up quite a bit. I've thought about taking one of these pots and like maybe adding some paint to it to make it darker, but I don't think that's probably a good idea. I think we just leave it alone, and if you need to be darker, just go over it again, kind of thing. Right? I can type with two hands again. It must be the temperature, but the super glue still is not set after 15 minutes. Wow. What's the name of this super glue we're not buying again? The Gorilla Glue one? Yeah, we'll make sure not to buy that. I have no luck with like the thin super glue. Okay, man. Thanks for coming by, Marcus. I'll try to take some pictures of the model meeting. And if I do remember to do that, I'll just I'll use the computer. That way and just show you on the phone. No, it's the thick version. Yellow bottle called Extreme Power. I need some alternatives for sure. Yeah, it can't be the cold because it's not like it shouldn't be reacting weird if it's like well above freezing. And I'm sure it's not freezing in any of our houses, even if we wanted it to be. All right, well I'm gonna cut out myself also because I gotta get ready for the salt lines. Yay! And I'm gonna these two are done. And I'm gonna go ahead and do this. Move it over here to the done pile and leave this over here. So I know that I got 1.5 left to do. I could just look at it and see what's left, but all right. All right, guys. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me for a little while this morning. And after the threes, I'm probably going to roll into this 4 and fix this unlucky bastard. It'll end up looking just fine. But all right, folks, we'll see you guys on the next one. Enjoy your Tuesday, whatever day this is. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.